This is Jarrod Horak for the RunawayHorse.com, and welcome to my early look at the 2021 Breeders Cup Distaff. Now, if you're interested in my two-day full cards from Dunbar for the Breeders Cup in 2021, Friday, November 5th, Saturday, November 6th, you will be able to find those at the RunawayHorse.com on my sales page, Breeders Cup Week. Right now, for the month of October, I am covering full cards from Santa Anita Park, and then the month of November, I will be covering full cards from Dunbar for their entire Bing Crosby season fall meet throughout the month of November, including those two-day Breeders' Cup full cards that I just mentioned. Now we're going to take an early look at that distaff. Right now it's Friday, October 22nd, so we still have a little ways until the distaff goes. They are going to be drawing the pre-entries next week, so we're going to find out which horses are pre-entered. Right now 11 horses are possible, including a couple runners coming in, one from South America, Blue Stripe, one from Asia, Marche, Lorraine. They could end up being a bit up against it in here. There's some pretty good North American runners this year, and I would expect that they're probably going to end up dominating. We're going to talk about those North American runners in alphabetical order, beginning with As Time Goes By for trainer Bob Baffert. She bounced back with a better effort last time out in the Zenyatta Stakes. She's one that was very consistent earlier on this year. Then she tailed off, and then she was able to bounce back and finish a decent second in that Zenyatta behind her stablemate Private Mission. So as time goes by, she's versatile, but typically she likes to run from off the pace, and she's going to try to get involved in the stretch in the distaff, but she's going to have to run faster. She's in better form right now, but she's going to definitely have to run faster to compete with the top runners in this race, such as Letruska, and I'll be mentioning her in a few minutes. Clairiere, a 3-year-old filly for trainer Steve Asmussen. She won the Cotillion Stakes last time out. She's got plenty of stamina. She likes to rally from off the pace, so she's one that will be grinding away in the stretch, but she's going to have to run faster against a pretty deep group. This is probably going to be her toughest career test. Now, Dunbar Road for trainer Chad Brown. She has a lot of back class, and it seems like she's back in form. She's one that was off form, and then she rebounded and she finished an okay third a couple starts back, and then last time out she was a decent second in the Spinster Stakes at Keeneland. And so Dunbar Road's one that she does need some pace help, but she seems to be back on her game, and with that back class I can definitely see her being good enough to finish maybe somewhere in the top three in the distaff if she runs her best race. Horologist, she's one that she can show some speed. She's probably not going to be as fast as Letruska in the early going, but Horologist, she's a multiple graded stakes winner, so she's one that capable of getting involved in a race like this on her best day. But I think that with Letruska in there and some other toughies in this race, she could be a bit up against it too. Letruska, she's just been a win machine this year. She's just been able to get out there, control the pace, and just keep on going in her recent starts, just like she did in the Spinster, or just like she did in a lot of starts this year. She's just been able to really just use her speed to her advantage. And if they give her an advantage like she had in the Spinster, where she was the controlling speed, she's just going to be able to dominate these races, and that's what she's been doing this year. And if you look at the distaff, there's not a lot of horses with a ton of speed that are going to be able to challenge her early. And if she gets loose, she could easily wire the field as the likely favorite. She's probably the deserving favorite as well. Malathaat, a 3-year-old filly for trainer Todd Pletcher. She loves to win races. She hasn't run in a little bit now. She's one that she won the Alabama Stakes over the summer at Saratoga, and she has not run since that race. Mile and an eighth, mile and a quarter seems very good for her. She won the Kentucky Oaks earlier this year. She just loves to win races. She's got that good tactical speed. She can just sit there and then usually just use her stamina to outfinish the others in the stretch. But horses like the Letruska may not be coming back to the field, so we'll have to see how Malathaat does as a 3-year-old filly. She's probably the best 3-year-old filly in this race. Clairiere is solid, but I think Malathaat has some more talent, and she still has some upside as well. Private Mission for trainer Bob Baffert. She looked good in the last couple starts. She won a Grade 3 race, the Torrey Pines at Dunbar, and then she came and faced older horses last time out in the Zenyatta Stakes, and she was able to win that one. Now, she likes to get on the pace, so maybe she's one that could give Letruska some fits in this race. I think Letruska's most likely to set the pace, but there's a horse like Private Mission could easily be right on her heels and maybe softening her up enough in the stretch for somebody else to come and catch those runners. Royal Flag for trainer Chad Brown. Well, she won the Beldame last time out. She's one that seems a cut below the best, and she's going to have to elevate her game. And then finally, Shedaresthedevil for trainer Brad Cox. She is interesting. They shipped her to Dunbar earlier this year for the Grade 1 Clement L. Hurst Stakes, and she won that race. And then she also won her last start. That was the Locust Grove at Churchill Downs. So Shedaresthedevil, she's versatile. She can go out there and set the pace. She can track the pace as well. As I mentioned, with a horse like Letruska in there, she's your most likely pace setter. And then you're going to have horses like Private Mission up close. I think Shedaresthedevil can be pretty close to the pace as well. I like that victory at Dunbar. She's sharp. She likes to win races. And Shedaresthedevil is one of the likely win contenders in this race. So just an early look at it. Letruska certainly the one to catch and beat. I think a horse like Shedaresthedevil could be dangerous, as I said, with that race over Dunbar. And Dunbar sometimes can be tricky. Some horses don't handle that oval. Reminds you a little bit of Churchill Downs, where sometimes horses don't handle it. Remember Arrogate a few years ago, he did not like that Dunbar surface, and then he was beaten in the Breeders' Cup Classic. So Letruska is one that is going to go out to the front, but a horse like Shedaresthedevil, very capable of beating her if Letruska does not get loose and run her best race. Malathaat, an interesting 3-year-old filly, and then Dunbar Road for the exotics, I think, is an interesting exotics contender at a price. I just think she's back on her game right now, and she does look like an interesting contender. But we'll get more into this after we know the pre-entries. And obviously in my full card analysis, I'm going to be covering extensively with all my wagering strategies as well. So that's an early look at the Breeders' Cup Distaff. Last week I covered the Breeders' Cup Classic in my early look. And then I'm going to take another look at the Classic as well before that race runs. And then next week, so then we have one more week, so I'll be doing some other Breeders' Cup previews. And then the week after that, I'll be covering some races. I'll probably do the Breeders' Cup Juvenile and the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies as part of my road to the Kentucky Derby and Kentucky Oaks. And then I'll cover probably another Breeders' Cup race in my videos as well. So stay tuned for all that on my YouTube channel. And again, if you're interested in my full cards for the Breeders' Cup, you'll be able to find those at therunawayhorse.com. If you're interested in any extra free selections that I offer, in the links, I'm going to provide links in the description in this video of some free selections that I post at horseracing.nation.com, my daily best bets blog there, and then at therunawayhorse.com I also do free selections, stake selections from California, and then we cover some stake selections from New York as well, and I'll provide the links in the description in this video for all that. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. And I'll be back next. I'm going to take a second look at the Breeders' Cup Classic because some horses have ended up deciding not to run and they've defected from that race. So I'm going to take a second look at the Breeders' Cup Classic in my next video this week. Until then, good luck at the race.